Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sankofa Animation Network. I'm Alicia Diane, and Sankofa Animation Network exists to uplift Black and Brown communities through animated film, face-centered storytelling, and creative education, building a global community where underrepresented voices can feel nurtured, empowered, and seen. Now let's introduce our guest for today, Deborah Ross. Deborah Ross is a brilliant naturalist artist who primarily paints in watercolor with a focus on environmental concerns and a community's response to their landscapes. She has worked in Africa for over 37 years on extended tenures, which includes teaching art throughout the continent, imbuing young students with a passion for visual storytelling through watercolor drawing. She was contracted by the African Conservation Center in Kenya, the country where she has spent the most of her time in Africa, to design and implement an education plan in Amboseli National Park. After working as an editorial illustrator, she has devoted most of her life to this mission. I first met Deborah some 20 years ago as a student of both her figure drawing and wildlife drawing courses for animators at SVA in New York City, where she still teaches. She has also taught animators and illustrators at Disney, CalArts, and many others to gain a sense of realism in their animal drawings. So, without further ado, Deborah Ross.
Hi.
Hi. So glad to have you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just tell me about your experience. So, what was the first thing that drew you to drawing and painting? And when did watercolor become an important part of your artistic process?
Mm. Well, I've always drew. My mother encouraged me, but I never thought of it as a career. She did. I didn't. And I was just at a point in my life. I mostly wrote, was a writer, but I was at a point in my life where I needed something to ground me. And the physicality of drawing and learning, that technical end of it was very
Yeah.
grounding for me at a time in my life when it was very chaotic. And so that's how I ended up in drawing.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So, did you always envision teaching as a part of your artistic life, or did education enter later on?
Never.
Never.
Never. It just seemed like too much because I knew what a struggle it was and how hard it was for me to make a living as an artist and just the sacrifices of being living in an artistic career is horrendous, and it just
Mm.
worse, So I really didn't think about encouraging anyone to go into that. But at one point, I was out helping my mother who was ill in California, and Cal Arts called and and asked me to come teach. And so I ended up teaching life drawing, animal drawing, landscape, and I really enjoyed the students. So it was a whole different kind of thing. Of course, in the 90s, there was a lot of jobs for animators too. So all
Yeah.
the students, they were stealing them right out of the classroom, and hiring them. They
Oh,
all,
wow.
they pay for their education, all their it was an amazing time.
Oh,
It
wow.
was a brief
Yeah.
window there.
I wish it was still that way.
Now it's not. But then it was, and so in fact, all of them are still my friends. Most of my students, we communicate back and forth. And then when I came after my mother passed away, I moved back to New York and I started teaching at SVA where you were. And I
Okay.
enjoy the students. I especially like the animal class. I like going there. I like the companionship. And I find
Yeah.
it fun, interesting. They're storytellers, there's something quirky about anyone that would want to go into animation, that brutal field, because it's so
Yeah.
hard. I mean, it's just the physical labor of it is hard,
Hmm.
let alone the business end of it is difficult. Even for the best of the best, they struggle,
Yeah.
friends at all the major studios, and they have told me stories.
Oh my gosh. I can only
Yeah,
imagine.
it's
I know.
hard, and then one week you have a job, next week you're laid off.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they have
yeah.
families, they have children. It's very, very on. But we had a great time and we still talk about it. I'm still in
Yeah.
touch with them.
Mm,
And so
yeah.
that's how teaching became part of me. And also, it was nice not to have to hustle all the time.
Oh, yeah, definitely
So
the
I didn't have to
stability.
hustle being an illustrator anymore. I could
Mhm.
just rely on the teaching money, which was
Oh,
peaceful and enjoyable.
oh, that's so good.
So many years as an editorial artist, where every minute I was hunting for the next dollar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna get to that too, because I really like the transition is just amazing. So you traveled to several African countries, such as Kenya and Madagascar, to teach art. So what began that journey for you?
Hmm?
You traveled to several
Yeah.
African countries, so like Kenya and Madagascar. So how did that journey begin, teaching art in Africa?
I always wanted to go to Africa.
Hmm.
And in the late 80s, mid like 85, there was a big conference for conservation. And I had done work for the Bronx Zoo for many years. I did all of Jungle World and all those, my other clients. And and I met this woman there that was doing a book on baboon behavior. She wanted me to illustrate it. And so I got the job illustrating and I said, and she goes, it'd be great if you could come and see them. And I
Mm.
thought, my father had, when he passed, left me a little money. And then what we did was, it was not very much, like 5,000,
Yeah.
but bought me a ticket and I flew to Africa and I went to her project and I loved it. I was drawing, having a great time. And I had to do all these drawings. It was a real remote, rigid place out in Laikipia in the Rift Valley Plateau. And it was a Maasai area. And the kids, they lived in these huts on different rock croppings, the manatas. And the kids, I had to draw them on out. The kids would just follow me everywhere. So if they were bugging me, so I gave them paper to draw. And they were
Mm-hmm.
very, very into it. They're
Mm-hmm.
very exploratory, and that was just like playing. But like 10 years later, was it? Yeah, it must have been like, oh, 9 or 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I went back, I was working at the project again, and there was this young man there. And just as I was leaving, I said, well, it's been really nice seeing you, Sanke. And he goes, well, you must come to my manada next time. And I,
Mm.
where's your manada? He goes, you've been there, the rock manada. I looked at him, I go, are you that little boy? And he goes, yes.
Oh
I,
wow.
I goes, and I've been waiting a long time for you to come back. And then, and he gave me these drawings that he did. I have them somewhere in the house of these big pages full of every behavior of the baboons. And
Oh
then
my
all
gosh.
the heating sites and all these activities. So, that was sort of it. I
Oh
didn't
my gosh.
I didn't get, I mean, I sort of like just did it off the whim of my head, I would work and work
Mm-hmm.
illustration and take all the money and then buy a ticket and go back. So, and I
Mm-hmm.
worked car there and, I'd go for 9 months, 8 months, come back to New York, work, use all the money and come back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure my art career would have been much better if I wasn't like divided, I didn't show, I wasn't interested in the art scene, anything. For me, it was just a vehicle to get somewhere.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing that it just kind of came to you, like without you necessarily searching for it. It just like
They
kind of
called me,
approached you.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
had tried
incredible.
years before to get me to teach at FIT, and I said, no, I don't want to, but yeah, it came to me.
Oh my gosh.
Good. I mean, now not so much. They took away all my classes.
Oh no.
They cut it in half. SVA is like, politics.
Oh
So
gosh.
fine, I'm happy with that because now I'm back. It's like the full cycle because now I'm back illustrating again.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. I thought this is okay.
Awesome.
Though I sub for friends of mine that are sick at school, I'm still in there. And I still have my little animal class. They cut the hours down to 3 hours, but
But
yeah.
it's good. That was my favorite class. I loved that class so much.
Wasn't it the best? It's still my favorite thing to do. I'm telling you, we have such a good time.
Yeah, oh my goodness. So let's see. Um, Across the countries that you visited, I know you visited a few. What differences have you noticed culturally and environmentally, and how the communities respond to your teaching there?
Everybody loves the teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's very responsive to me, whether they speak English or Malinke or, Malagas, they love the people are really into it. And what's really nice is these kids, they don't have phones or computers or any of that stuff. And
Yeah.
they're so present. They just get it in 1 second. And they live with these animals. They live with them, different parts, so that was really nice. Madagascar and Kenya are mainly with wildlife, but I've also worked a lot in Guinea. But mainly what I did in Guinea was during Ebola, I had the kids paint posters of how to prevent Ebola
Oh,
transmission. Yeah, good health
oh
practice,
wow.
how to wash your hands, and the different things that they do. So I worked with the whole community. Sadiqi's my husband's from there, so I would just work with that whole community. And it was
Oh,
nice.
oh, that's awesome. They're like
Yeah,
doing community
those
work.
are fun.
Yeah.
Those are the fun things. No matter where I've gone, I've always had the kids drawing.
Oh, good. And I'm so glad that they were like encouraged and inspired and they wanted to do it. Like that
Oh,
was
they're
they.
great. They love it. I swear, even like after 37 years, I'm still getting they send me messages. I miss painting. When you could
Oh.
painting the best of my life, like I still and they've grown up and they've gone into different fields, government or with conservation and stuff. And they're, that process really made a big difference in their lives.
Mm, mm. That's really good to hear. That's really good to hear. And it's
Yeah, it's a
encouraging.
wonderful thing. I mean, it's really great. In fact, my students in Kenya just won top secondary school of all East Africa for environmental art with the
Oh,
UN.
wow. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
they got
neat.
a big check from the
Oh,
3,000 euros.
oh, that's
And
amazing.
they're over the moon. They are so excited.
That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
And what are some of the most unexpected or memorable experience that you've had while teaching students in Africa?
Oh, teaching?
Mm-hmm.
Just just how good the kids are. I mean, they just
Mm-hmm.
surprise me. And
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the wonderful things that I really enjoy about it is wherever I've gone, and no matter how remote, you know, I'm suddenly inside a community. Like it's my way, I'm not that
Yeah.
big of teaching, but I enjoy it. But the bonus is that I get to be inside these communities. Like they
Yeah.
take me into their homes,
Mm-hmm.
and they're so grateful that I'm teaching the children. And they would also really help me like tracking, have taught me about how to track animals in the bush, what the different songs of birds were, what were the vocalizations, the different lemurs. I mean, it was all the stuff that I love.
Yeah.
I'm in there and they're on my team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so good.
So, I the guides and the trackers became my best friends. And I lived for a while with the anti-poaching unit and they taught me how to track rhinos in the bush. I mean, it was like
Oh, wow.
that was a long time ago, but it was so fun. I ended up writing for Natural History magazine several articles about working in the wild.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, painting essays. So they were really fun. I love doing it.
Oh my goodness. So what are some of the things that I'm just curious now, like what are some of the things that you look for when you were tracking rhinos? How do you find the right spots?
Uh, Um, the guys showed me like in the dust, we can find their tracks.
Yeah.
And they really understood it, and they said, okay, this snake went by here, but an antelope came later because it tracks on top of
Oh
the
my good.
those kind of things.
Oh my goodness.
And they would point them out to me, and when we track, and they tell me, shh, be quiet, because they'll charge.
Yeah. Oh
But
gosh.
I was really lucky. It was rather brazen, me just following them with their big submachine guns. Every
Yeah. I would be
minute.
nervous. Nervous is probably an
I
understatement.
was just too enchanted by the whole thing. And it was very funny because at one point this was a funny one. At one point, some rich tourists
Hmm.
were staying at a fancy lodge because I was doing work for this lodge. So like I in the beginning I lived there until I ended up living somewhere else, but for a little
Hmm.
while there. So the rich tourists saw the paintings and wanted to buy them, and so I sold them to them for a good price.
Yeah.
And I gave 20% to my trackers of the money.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And they were really into it. They would wake me up. Deborah, it's a beautiful day for a painting. This is what. So they had these guys with big guns following me. I think we should stop here and do a painting.
Yeah, they're getting some
Really
commission
great.
from it.
It was
That's so
really
cool.
fun. So I made good money for them.
Oh, that's good.
It was a huge hit by then. And then everybody wanted to go out with me with the paint.
Oh man.
They were
Oh,
like,
that's
a painting thing, that's a good thing.
that's so fun. I'm gonna talk to you about let's see. Can you talk about the age groups that you teach in the US compared to those in Africa and how your teaching approach shifts between teaching at the art schools here versus over there?
I pretty much run them the same.
Ah.
I'm pretty, you've had me. I'm like pretty, what I do is just put them in a position to paint and say, this is it. And everyone just goes for it.
Hmm.
I don't think, I didn't have like a whole list of like what to do, use this color, push this color. I'm not into any of that. I'm more,
Yeah.
as Siddiqui calls it, the spirit teaching. So we
Ah.
feel each other. And when I see a student, even my college students in America or my, primary and secondary students in Kenya and Madagascar, I can I see them and I see somehow I know where to push them. I prefer
Mm-hmm.
individual rather than any kind of general thing. I
Hmm.
don't do crits. I don't show, everyone the work and all that. But I can see, okay, yeah, you need to consider the negative space, like draw back a little, different.
Yeah. Hmm.
Watch that where, your forms are fine with your birds, but you're not getting the weight of where the legs are. So it's those key sort of things. Because with the birds, it's really key where the legs are. This
Yeah. Mhm.
it's the neck tells you what species it is, rectangular, round, or triangular. Watch out for the triangular ones. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, you're from you've lived out in the Southwest.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with the triangular head ones.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I've
Exactly.
seen a few of them too.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I have. But oh, I wasn't expecting that. I love that you use the same method and you just kind of let them to kind of feel the space that they're drawing in and let them
Yeah,
go for it.
it's the same. It's the same.
Oh, I love that.
And they just go for it like crazy. I mean, the kids in Africa mainly they use photographs because we
Hmm.
can't take them out there. Though at each trip we usually get a field trip and we get a bus from the Kenya Wildlife Service, and I have them with sketchbooks and I make them draw looking from life. And we talk
Mm.
about that and the importance of drawing from life, and then send them home to do drawings of their family and things like that. So that's
Oh, okay.
sort of, where it goes. I've gotten, I got back in 2011, I had worked for 3 summers at this one place, Employed Primary School.
Yeah.
It was a terrible drought. I mean, hundreds of animals, just dead animals everywhere. It was so
Oh.
like just place turned to dust.
Mm-hmm.
We decided we're going to do a book on the medicine plants. I
Mm-hmm.
and we had this theme, I dream of green. That was our like our mantra. And and I got the local medicine man to go with us to the field, and it explained everyone. And so I published a book. I got a grant and published the book along Kane, the medicine
Yeah.
plant of Kenya.
Mm. Oh, that's
So
awesome.
that
Mm-hmm.
that was really good for the kids
Mm. That's
to
so
get them
good.
published. And then I took a lot of their paintings to America, and then we auctioned them and sent the money back to them.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, so they got like $100 a painting, which is really good for them there because that was
Yeah.
paying their school fees. It allowed a number of them to continue and go to secondary school from primary school.
Yeah, because I understand that like they have to pay for the secondary school, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's
Mm-hmm.
really expensive too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they do it. They just have these cows and I
Yeah.
it's very, very important. And then they live with they live with a relative or something because it's too far to commute.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
such. But we just started building like raised the money for a dormitory for the boys. So
Oh, good.
which
Mm-hmm.
is good. But yeah, at different points, in fact, last couple of years ago, we did a whole big exhibit at one of the big lodges.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
the kids we made almost $10,000 from that. And that money went to the kids to pay their school fees of all my 30, 60 kids. We divided it up to pay their school fees.
Oh, wow. That's a
Yeah,
good.
so we made it work. I mean, this is those are big victories for me that
Yeah.
that we can
Mm-hmm.
figure out a way of doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's really good. And I've been bringing my husband now, and he does music with them. And he's a huge hit there.
Also, because my next question is actually about your husband too. So your husband is an accomplished musician from Guinea, West Africa. And so how has your relationship influenced the way that you approach teaching, particularly in East Africa?
Oh, it's fun. We just bring drums, plastic buckets, and sticks, and he like teaches them to sing. He taught them in Malinke first. They all learned to sing this Malinke. Kind of made one of the headmasters nervous. They're talking in this foreign language. I had to it. And then he learned to them to sing. They sing back to him in their language, teaching him local songs. And then we've done dances and song. I'll send you a little bit. I have a little video of Siddiqui teaching in Africa.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Hmm.
The Japanese did a documentary on it. So
Hmm.
no, so it's really good because he's come from the same place as them. That's why he's such a good example because he came from Mud Hut. That's where Sticky, and he didn't even
Hmm.
have a wheelchair. He dragged himself on his hands most of his life.
Yeah.
He didn't
Hmm.
get a wheelchair till he was like in his late teens.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So it's a good example for them. And it's nice, but in the same way, it even got us better inside the community. We were invited to these big weddings. Sticky was chosen as the leader. The
Oh, thanks.
elders all said he was a special spirit soul, went through this whole rigmarole, because Sticky's from like 8 generations of sorcerers, and then they recognized
Yeah.
right away.
Oh my gosh.
He said it was really interesting because he could feel the West and the East coming like this when they were.
Oh,
It was I'm completely fascinated by the whole thing, and and it's nice because we'll drive the car, go down the road. We're passing places in the areas, and families will come up and yell, "Deborah Siddiqui, Deborah Siddiqui," I don't even remember the song. But one of the best things, just last week, I got um they had done an exhibit of one of the schools, children's work, and it's the same school that Siddiqui taught drums at,
hmm.
Land and Life Foundation, and they went and the kid put out all the drums. They remember all 12 rhythms and every
Ah,
song. Isn't
oh
that
my gosh.
amazing? Yeah. They remembered the whole thing. I was
Oh
like
my gosh.
blown away. I told Sadiq, he goes, those kids are so disciplined.
Yeah. Yeah. Disciplined and talented to be able to memorize that.
No, they're hard. They're not easy rhythms.
Yeah.
When you see the video, I
Mhm.
couldn't do it.
I don't think I could either.
You
Nope.
know, and I
Wouldn't
don't have that
happen.
motor control.
Mm-mm. No, especially
No, so the kids are, yeah, they remembered every song, everything. And they blew
wow.
the people away that went down there, the big funders. So we're
Oh my
hoping
gosh.
to fund
Hmm.
Kadiki again. We don't know. We never know if we're going to be funded from 1 minute to the next.
Well, I guess that's like part of your journey. It seems like it's always kind of been so fluid and just a little bit unpredictable.
More than a little.
Yeah.
Very unpredictable. Not for the timid, I'll tell you that. Not
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
comfort or, security. That's a
Hmm.
window.
Yeah, definitely not
Out
not
the
for
window.
that type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, so when you're when you're planning lessons for your for students in African communities, and we you kind of went over this, like, do you think about structure, flexibility, expectations? I know that you
No,
said you're a little bit more fluid or a lot
I'm a
more fluid.
spirit teacher.
Uh-huh. So no
I
lesson
just
plans when you're
feel
going.
them and I know what they need. It just appears to me and then it just
Oh,
goes.
yeah. Okay, well that's good. That's good to know. So you don't have to be an over planner. It's kind of a relief.
I'm a very non-planner, and I think
Okay.
that annoyed a lot of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
administrators. But no, but Siddiqui taught me a lot about it because he gave names to it because I couldn't figure out what it was, why it worked. You know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
'cause it seems so chaotic when I'm in the classroom, but it
Yeah.
works. It does
Mm-hmm.
work. People grow. You grew. See
Yeah.
all of
Mm-hmm.
that?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and the thing with Siddiqui says, what does he have? I'll have to send you this little video where he talks about it. He goes, everyone has something special inside. So what you
Mm.
have to do, get some a little happiness, some a little sadness. It's there. You have to listen. And then when you see what it is, sometimes you give them a little push to give them
Yeah.
confidence to speak themselves.
Yeah.
Just
Mm-hmm.
give them a little push.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally see that. I definitely see that. And I actually led,
Yeah.
yeah, I actually led workshops at the zoo based on the class that I was in with you. And
Yay.
and I
Spread
would
the
see that.
love.
Yeah. I would see that. I would see like how people would grow and develop and when they would come back. And my son now goes to the zoo and draws with me and
No,
sketches.
I'm just saying your son must be so big now. How old is he?
He's 20 years old. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my.
Yeah.
I remember when you were in class, I was so shocked because you were working. I thought, you have a child and you're working.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a
That's a
baby
lot.
then.
That was a lot.
Yeah, I think he was one when I started at SVA. So
That's
he
what
was
I thought. I remember it was very small, but isn't that great? So what's
yeah.
he doing now? He's in school?
Yeah, he's in school and he draws at the zoo with me all the time.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so I think I just have a few questions, or just two questions left. What advice would you give to artists, especially young artists or seasoned artists who feel called to teach on the African continent? And what's one thing that you wish you known before you started?
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think I would encourage anyone that wants to go teach there. They need it, and I'm sure there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of opportunities, volunteer. I wish, I wish I would have just gone to Africa right away,
Mm-hmm.
you know, instead of waiting till I was in my 30s when I first got there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I wish I would have, I think, I think I wish I would have joined the Peace Corps right away. And a lot of my friends that do this work, that work in environmental
Mm-hmm.
and healthcare and conservation, they got their start in the Peace Corps.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Mm-hmm.
I had to I just kind of pulled it out of my head. I didn't know a soul when I went to Africa. I just, landed and burst into tears, like, what have I done
Oh,
here? Better to have a little bit of structure when you're going there.
yeah.
I wouldn't advise anyone to pull it the same way I did.
Yeah, definitely going with
No,
not knowing
no,
what to
no,
expect.
no. I'm very lucky. I've been knock on wood,
Yeah.
could
But
have
it seems
easily
like,
been killed early on in my life.
yeah, it just kind of seems like that's just your spirit, or that's just how you've moved through life, and it works for you because that's just kind of how you are.
Yeah, it works. I think it works because I have really good energy with people. Like I
Hmm.
feel, and they feel, and they want to support me. I have really good. I like people,
Oh,
and
okay.
people know that.
Hmm.
That I find them entertaining, amusing, even if they're. Yeah, I don't speak their language. We're like right there with each other.
Hmm.
Sometimes when I'm working with the kids, I demand these things of them, and then we can't. Like I go, what, like when they're drawing the birds, I go, what are we looking for? And they go, negative space. I worked in Brazil too once, and we did a big show in this little fishing village, and they did a big show in the fancy in Salvador, the big, you know, Louis Vuitton,
Oh, wow. That's
fancy
fancy.
department store, and they were there. And it was very interesting because they said they could name all the colors in English then that they learned from me. And
Mm,
it's just really fun, and we had such a great time.
yeah. Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
so it's easy. I just advise people I would seek a more structured way to get in,
Hmm.
or one of those volunteering, or, there's a lot of organizations like Vision Works that do work overseas, that would be where they have more of a support system.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was
Yeah.
really by just the skin of my teeth. And it was a time I was lucky, it wasn't
Yeah.
dangerous,
So having that
and
support
now I
system.
have,
Hmm.
friends all over where I stay, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's great though, having that organization and being able to volunteer so you're not by yourself, or you
Yes, I
might have.
think that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay, so this is our last question. So when you look back over the years of teaching and traveling, what feels most important, and what do you feel is the most important lesson that you've learned that you'd like to pass on?
Hmm. I don't know. The lesson I had is just the incredible spirit of people,
Mm,
and
hmm.
that the importance of listening and letting people be who they are, and not imposing oneself. Like it's really, when you're in another culture, the most important thing is to listen, and that's where you'll get a doors opening to you.
Mm, hmm.
Yeah, I see that. So people have talked to me, like, about setting up these art education programs and art education, and we need a curriculum, and we need this, we need, they're always talking that way, but that's never been my way. So my way is listening. In
Mm,
fact, there's a conservation organization. I wouldn't remember the name of it, Harmony something. Who What they do, they spend the first 2 weeks sitting, listening, and not saying anything to what the people that they're serving. Like
That's
it's
great
in
advice.
Indonesia and in Madagascar. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
listening. So I think that's the most important thing.
Awesome. All
And
right.
knowing that, you don't really belong here, and then you're just traveling through, you know.
Yeah, like
I think
remembering that
I
you're a
think I
visitor.
think you have to keep your ego out of it, in that way. This is not
Yeah.
yours. This is
Hmm.
someone else's life, and you're just traveling through, you know.
Mm,
So you don't set up situations that are dependent on you being there.
yeah.
Like, what I've done a lot is train local artists to continue with me. I did that in like hippie, and I have a teacher now I'm working with. So the program, it's not dependent on me. But helping
Mm-hmm.
people that have the spirit, you know, that love it and have the
Yeah.
spirit of teachers. There's some really, I met some great teachers there. And then that pass the baton, you know.
Yeah. I think those are really good words, passing the baton.
Yeah, it is. Because I'm not gonna be, I'm old. I'm not gonna be able to pull this off much longer, But
Mm-hmm.
as far as, you want to leave something,
Yeah.
you want them to be better. And you don't want to give them false hope. This is not gonna, make you a millionaire. But let's
Yeah.
just enjoy it, like you have to balance it between, those things.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I think it
But I'm
definitely,
always trying to market and connive things in my head, and I go, no, just look back. It's not, you're not going to be living here, and you're not going to be running this whole thing. Let them give them
yeah.
only what they need
Mm-hmm.
themselves. You know.
Yeah, I definitely think it takes a certain type of person who really wants to do that type of work and who wants to learn about the community, who's open, which obviously you have been. So,
Yeah, that's it. You have to like take the joy that you're allowed inside. I have
yeah.
to pinch myself sometimes like this is so astounding. This is like my wildest dream when I was 10 years old dreaming of Africa. Suddenly I'm
Yeah.
in the middle of, I'm tracking with the Maasai on the grounds.
That's amazing.
I'm like, yay. I'm in Madagascar and I've got this local guy that could sing the song and attract birds will come flying to him. And
Oh,
I go, yeah, this is
that's
it.
incredible. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. This has been like such a inspiring conversation for me, and I know it's going to be really helpful for a lot of people too. So, thank you so
Oh, thank
much.
you. Thank you for what you're doing. I've always follow you all the time.
Oh, thank you.
You're all over the place. You go everywhere.
You can't get away from me. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. Stay in touch.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Bye bye.
Bye.